Hi, and welcome to the Joy of Tennis Teaching. Today is going to be a little bit different um, podcast or broadcast or video cast or whatever this thing is, because I don't have a script at all. I just want to talk about an event that's going on today. About 7 hours to my north, today is the celebration of the life of Peter Burwash. And I'm not going to talk a lot about Peter because I've done that, and I think anybody who's viewed these understands how I feel about that great man. But what I would like to talk about today is the gathering that's there. I wish more than anything that I could be there, but what I want to comment on is the great people who've gathered there to celebrate Peter's life. And especially the PBI and former PBI pros, many of whom I've shared some of the best days of my life. Um, and I'm going to mention a lot of names. I apologize for those that I miss, but I just wanted to feel like I was sharing a bit in the celebration today. Probably two of the most important people at the event are Chris and Tom Dyer. Chris and Tom were the mainstays in the PBI headquarters for all of the years that I can remember. I joined PBI just before Tom, but Chris was one of the founders of PBI with Peter. And um, they between the two of them, they held the company together, doing so many things for so many years, that much of the great success of PBI is due to those two people, as well as to Peter's great vision. Roger Derone is another person who's in attendance there, and I had a chance to speak to Roger on the phone yesterday as he was at the airport heading up to Northern California. Um, Roger's one of those people that I hit it off with right from our very first meeting. I think it's because we both had an incredible passion for teaching and both had a slightly bizarre sense of humor. So we could make each other laugh and yet still remain completely passionate and serious about the wonderful art of tennis teaching. Roger ran the tennis programs for PBI in Europe for many, many years. And then when I left PBI headquarters in 1998, Roger moved in and took over the recruiting and the training tasks that I had done for so many years. Um, from site here in Southern California, we've got some good representation. Dave Kensler, who is always so thoughtful about the content of these podcasts, and is although Dave didn't have a big background in competitive tennis when he joined PBI, he's always one of the most thoughtful analysts and tennis teachers that I've known. I love talking tennis teaching with Dave. Steve Halverson, also from San Diego, is gone up and to attend the event. And Steve joined PBI just about a year before me, and is still a remarkable tennis coach. Steve is probably one of the most natural communicators and builds rapport with students as well as any tennis professional that I've ever watched. I marvel at Steve's ease of communication and his great tennis teaching knowledge as well. Um, I believe Chris Numbers is attending also from San Diego. Um, Chris was a player that I got to coach a bit when he was a top junior, went on to have a marvelous college career, and then unfortunately his pro career got cut short by an injury, but it was to PBI's benefit because I'll never forget Chris contacting me wanting to know if I thought he could be a member of PBI, and I was lucky enough to train Chris, and he did a great job for PBI for many years, and then he built up his own very successful tennis business in the Hamptons, and he's still involved in tennis teaching. Another Southern California tennis coach that I was able to train is Darren Richer. It was very nice to hear from Darren, and I really appreciate his offer to help me get up to the event. Sadly, my health just wouldn't allow it this time, but Darren has been a solid tennis pro here in Southern California for a long time after a very successful PBI career. From back east, we have Bill Belser, who was a longtime PBI pro, and probably Bill was one of the best coaches I've ever known at physically preparing competitive tennis players. Bill was always fantastic at getting his players in shape and physically ready to compete at all times. Craig Lemley is coming. Craig has been a great pro in a number of places since he left PBI and did a wonderful job in PBI. I had some fun experiences with Craig. We spent some very interesting time at the Jakarta Hilton when Craig was the director of tennis there, and I came in to do some clinics. And Craig was a phenomenal coach, and I don't know if it's a highlight for Craig or not, but he and I were a doubles team together in the Woodlands, Texas, and we got to the finals of a tournament, beating a couple of pretty good PBI opponents on our way to the finals. But sadly, in the finals, we played two big-hitting lefties who completely exploited my inability to return serve against lefty I formation. But it was great playing with Craig, and it was a lot of fun to just tell him where I was going to hit my serve and hit it, and then watch Craig poach and put the ball away. So it would have been fun to see Craig. I haven't seen him in many years. My brother from another mother, Art Santos, I believe, is coming in from Florida. Art and I shared so many wonderful experiences in the PBI tennis show. The PBI tennis show was really one of the most unique parts of PBI. It grew out of Peter's experiences before there even was a PBI, doing these one-man tennis clinics that evolved into shows, and then it became a scripted performance, and it was always based in the great teaching concepts of PBI. And I like to say that 15 of my top 10 experiences in PBI were all show related, and I'm sure that Art Santos was right there with all of them. I'm not sure who else is going to be there at today's event. Those are the ones that I know from sure. I think Roger Cochran is flying in from Canada. Roger was a very conscientious and very great pro. And I know that John Embry was not able to attend, but is going to have a video tribute to Peter. It just sounds like a wonderful event filled with great people. So, bon voyage, Peter, and thanks.